Welcome students once again in offline videos. Today we will continue the ongoing chapter, that is the coordination chemistry, and today and the last class I have discussed about the crystal field theory, only the preliminary part, that is only the idea what is about the crystal field theory was done. Now what is crystal field theory? It is another name of this is called ligand field theory or ligand field theory. Okay, now what is discussed here? So first of all, we know the ligands having different field strength. I have discussed already. This is called spectrochemical series of the ligand, and as the field strength will be, and there the orbital organization, that is the metal or d orbit will distribute in different manner, having different electronic distribution. Now here in crystal field theory, it mainly deals with the uh, the point charges, point charge. And second one most important is the electrostatic interaction. Electrostatic. So what is point charge? That means the ligand having a charge itself. That means the anionic ligand having minus charge, the neutral ligand there is no charge, but they are assumed to be a point charges. In the same way, metal having the plus charge, it is also the point charges. So it is only the interaction between the opposite pole of the ligands and the metal. Next one, what is electrostatic interaction? It is a physical chemistry term. That means when the two poles, that is two charge, are coming close to each another, there the interactive force will be greater, and as the interactive force will be greater, the strength will be greater. We know the new bond, when a new bond is formed, it is due to the stability. First reason is due to the stability. So for the stability, the electrostatic interaction in between the negative charges or the positive charges from the metal. So the crystal field theory firstly discussed by Bethe in 1929. Later on, it is modified by Van Vleck in 1932. Van Vleck. In Van Vleck modification, there the magnetic properties, the color is also discussed, and from the first one, that is it is only interaction of the ions was discussed in the Bethe's form. Okay, so the point charges and the electrostatic interaction. Okay, now what is the assumption of that? In a complex, the central metal atom or ion is surrounded by ligands. We know it, that is central metal atom is surrounded by the ligands, and the surrounding, we know the geometry, that is surrounding is in a definite pattern. This is the definite pattern. It is a pentagonal, trigonal, bipyramid, so this is called the definite pattern. Next one, ligands are either negatively charged or neutral molecules with lone electron pair. We already know about this, that is the halides F minus, OH minus, SO4 2 minus. These are anionic ligand. In the same time, NH3, ethylene, ethylene diamine. These are neutral ligand, ethylene diamine. These are neutral ligands. Number 3, the central metal and the ligands are considered as point charge. I already have discussed about that. The interaction between the metal and ligands is purely electrostatic. I have told about that. What is electrostatic interaction? Okay. The attractive force between the central metal cation and negatively charged ligands is electrostatic in nature. The repulsive force between the lone electron pair of the ligand and electron present in the d orbital of the central metal. These repulsive forces is focus point. This repulsive force destroy the five-fold degeneracy of d orbital and split them into two groups, that is T2g and Eg. So when the next concept is that when the ligand with its field strength coming to the central metal atom, then what happens, the repulsive interaction in between the electrons is increases, and as the repulsive interaction increases, there the 5d orbitals further split to form two different energy level orbital having the name, that is Eg and T2g. That means two sets of orbital are formed which having different energy. This is called Eg and T2g. Now the energy difference between Eg and T2g is called the CFAC, or symbolically it is del zero, crystal field stabilization energy. This is called crystal field stabilization energy. Now what is Eg set? Eg set and T2g set. Here the Eg set, that is directly facing towards the axis. Which axis? Which d orbit facing towards the axis? Dx square minus y square and dz square. So the energy of the dx square minus y square and dz square will be higher, but T2g set dxy, dyz and dzx. Okay, these having lower energy, that is triply degenerate and it is doubly degenerate. Okay, so these are the Eg set and T2g set. Okay, now the what is about the CFAC? That the CFAC depends on the nature of the ligand and geometry of the complex. Next, the electrons of the central metal occupy the splitted d orbital strictly according to the Hund's rule. So let's try how the reorganization of d orbital takes place. So these are the 5d orbital in the ground state. Now when ligands are approaching, they take the position like that. It is of excited state. Then they further split into two forms. This is T2g and Eg. This is called barycenter. Okay, this is called barycenter, and the energy and the electrons will fade. That is, if D1 is there, then one electron will be here. D2, that is 2 electron. D3, 3 electron. Okay, so in this way the electrons will paired up according to the Hund's rule of maximum spin multiplicity. The theory tells about that the theory does not consider any overlapping between the orbitals of ligand and the central metal atom. So there is no overlapping, that is no hybrid orbital form, only the electrostatic interaction in between the ligand's electron and the central metal having a charge deficiency, that is electron deficiency. I have already discussed about the spectrochemical series. Now the stability of the complex is quantitatively measured by the magnitude of CFAC. What is the full form of CFAC? CFSE, crystal field stabilization energy. This is called CFAC, or crystal field stabilization energy. Okay, now how to calculate the CFAC? That is, if the only one electron is there, so the value is equal to for one electron filled up in the T2g set. Here it is due to the stability, because that's having the lower energy, so this the Eg set is gaining stability. The Eg set having 0.4 delta 0, 0.4 delta 0 every electron. Okay, now for this it is equal to into 3, that is 1.2 delta 0. Now the delta 0, there is another unit, that is dq. So delta 0 equal to 10 dq. So if we represent it in dq unit, then it will be 4 dq into 3, that is 12 dq. That is 12 dq. It is the stability factor, right? So in this way we can calculate the what is the CFSE of that complex, and as the value of the CFSE, that is having the more negative, is more stable compound. Okay, now the D4. So assuming D4, D5 and D6, that what will be the electronic distribution on this orbital, that is D4. D4. So we may write T2G Eg. So T2G3 Eg1 D4, T2G3 Eg1, and another maybe T2G4 Eg0. Okay. Now in that first case, what will be the stability factor? It is equal to -4 into 3 plus 6. -4 into 3 plus 6, that is -6 dq. Here it will be -4 into 4, that is equal to -16 dq. Okay, so here E0 equal to -3/5, it is here equal to -8/5 delta 0. So in the second case, that is T2G4 Eg0, here another energy term is there, that is pairing energy, that is one electron is paired, so it will be liberated as the energy is required, so it will decrease the value of -16 dq. But the second one is feasible, that is T2G4 Eg0 is more preferable than T2G3 Eg1. Okay. Okay students, so on the next class I will discuss about the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex and octahedral complexes. So thank you for seeing the video, and I hope it will be helpful to you. Thank you everyone.